what I'm currently finding interesting about Citizen Sleeper is that it seems to tap into like the same kind of premise as Cloudpunk, and really a lot of cyberpunk, the combination of transhumanism and corporate struggle, everything's bad, oh god. That corporatism run amok situation. But I specifically talked about how Cloudpunk, while it was narratively interesting, it just lacked any and all mechanical anything, really. You really did just drive to your destination while listening to a conversation while you were driving. Like, it was basically a video game that was built entirely around that part of, like, Saints Row and GTA where you drive to your destination and your characters, like, have a chat and so on, except it's, like, actually telling an entire story that way in a pretty major way. And, like, the writing was good, but there was almost no mechanical implementation into the stuff. Like, you didn't, like, have to, like, maintain your own vehicle or buy food or pay rent, even though those were definitely problems that the protagonist faced. Like, the protagonist definitely did have to worry about paying rent and buying food narratively, but in the context of the game, the whole thing seemingly took place over the course of one night, which, despite being way too long for that, if I remember correctly. But you didn't have to do that. Like, I talk about pathologic usually in these contexts of, like, having to balance resources and worry about something. Even if the game's not that hard or that big of a problem, like, this game, at the end of the day, might not be a huge struggle to get through. But as long as it's, like, making you worry about stuff, then it's at least doing something with that. So, like, these mechanical elements here, it kind of feels like a better way to tell the story, because we still are, like, some kind of gig worker, like, in a way similar to Cloudpunk. We are just scrapping together and doing what we can each day and so on, and then meeting all these different people and learning their stories and things. But there is, like, a mechanical backing to all of it in a way that there kind of wasn't before. So I just find that interesting. Alright, let's see. Weren't there places I could spend my ones? Because that'd be pretty nice right about now. There's a 1 right here. What was the 3rd gate down here? These are 2s only. Let's try the 1, because I don't know what else I'm going to do with that. Encrypted key. Let's try opening that sealed dock then. I've been hoping to get here. We've unsealed the dock. What have we done? Neovend 33, mysterious machine. It's a vending machine. Please wait. Look at the little doggy and the little bear, all the little goober animals on this thing. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock, a kind of upright cabinet. It is covered in faded logos and messages from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which chirpily sang the name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Okay, so the the digital Cerberus monster said that there was a thing in the sealed area and that I am its puppet. So it was concerned about this exact thing. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multitonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. The squeal comes again, and you can see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirling, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes, and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable. Move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you target. Adaptable? Yes. You can move through networks, clouds, hardware, software. Neovend whines, but you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos judder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me, also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. Can counter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen, attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm, comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neovend. Masters are gone but continues to hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. Masters? Station builders. Solheim. The machine rumbles impatiently. Long gone. Their protocols still haunt. Bring offerings. Save self. Neovend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends, they conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops, as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades, and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Hello. Do you need the other kind of data that I have? I need Hunter data. How do I get Hunter data? I need 3 Hunter data before the Hunter catches me, probably? At least getting caught again seems like a bad idea. But I have Haven's hardware data. And other stuff that I don't necessarily know what to do with. Free Neovend. Track. So it's there. But that's just where I turn the stuff in. Does it also show something here? Hunter Nest. It requires a 1. I mean, this is one of my goals. I do have exactly that 1. Hopefully I can finish this goal before I get caught. Now I've got Hunter data. Times 1. I have just enough. I can do it twice. Good use of my shitty dice. I think that's gonna be it for today. It'd be good to at least get another skill point from this. That's a decent enough goal here. Relatively fast progress there. It sounds like both Neovend and Feng are... No. Neovend is working with this hunter. But Feng helps me with the hunter that's outside of this place. Different uses of, you know, synonyms. There we go. See, my energy's fine. I would like to get to know Emphis, but I also need... let's see. I only want to buy food when I need it, hopefully. Even though it would give me a skill point. How's the ambergris going? Still no interface skill. Didn't I get an engineer point? Oh. Oh, we get a lot of points this game, don't we? You'll notice that I have this right here for photosynthetic skin. I don't have it for efficient extractor. So I'm not at engineer +1. I just have the skill you get before that. So doing this engineer skill can give me a it can give me scrap, but I don't have a bonus at it yet. That's my next point. So getting down this tree to the +2 is actually 1, 2, 6, 9 points. And being at a -1 just makes things worse. This gets expensive. Okay. I was wondering why I didn't have my point. Concern. Well, this should be a good leap forward. There we go. Ship shape. This could go poorly, but I'll hope for the best. Should I? I might as well. Anything I can finish is good. Neutral outcome. That's fine. Because the more I split my attention, the less I get skill points. So I should actually focus some of these down if I can. I'll look into the winter light after I fix the ambergris. That seems like a reasonable approach. So I've already bought all the scrap I can from these people, so all I can do is work here if I want to, and that's it. So I don't need the money for food right now. So maybe I should be gambling at the exchange. Nope, that costs dice, not money. Somewhat counterintuitively. I'm also very bad at that exact skill, so not super encouraging. Anyway, hopefully I can take care of the hunter tomorrow, and then I can focus on Fang's goal without being hunted the whole time. Because that looming cap, I don't want to fill that meter again because I just don't know what it'll do. And if it doesn't do something really bad on its own, the next time probably will. Okay, I'm hungry now. Let's take care of that first because it only costs me money, which I have. Bing. All right. No more scary low meter, but I believe. I think we started off with that much energy, but over here. So I think the moment it hits the edge is when you lose the next dice. So I think we're about to lose one of our dice. Unfortunately. Okay, so let's see about the hunter nests. A 2. I don't have a 2. Well, that sucks. Is there another nest? Nope. Alright, we're not making progress on the hunter nest today. Non-ideal. So I'm probably going to stay out of this entire realm if I can. Spend my 1 on something that doesn't have negative consequences. There we go. I keep forgetting how to leave menus. I'm so used to exit stuff being somewhere in the corner or something. Alright, so put that on pause. But we can probably finish the ambergris. Come on. Ah. Repeatable action. It just didn't click or something. I don't want to waste my good one necessarily. Is 3 the same risk? Yeah, I guess I'll spend the shittiest one then. Not a 1 though. There we go. 0 grounded points anyway. Ankita is crouched in the computing core of the ambergris, swearing to herself when you enter. She doesn't look up. These shits completely ruined the core's connectors when they cut it. She holds up a thick fistful of ragged wires. The ship mine they ripped won't even be usable without replacing these. She throws the bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. So they ruined her ship, but in a way where they don't even get something that the thing they stole isn't even going to work anymore. Can we repair it? There's nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mined. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. She sighs. Fragments, maybe. Sections of a mine, but a complete ship mine? No way. Ankita climbs out of the cooling well where the ship mine should be. The space completely crowded with her on the same level as you. The space suddenly crowded with her, towering over you as she stoops beneath the low, curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back to the guts of the amber, though you could find the way back yourself. The repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout. All diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Ankita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive on the galley, though it's hard to tell. Most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hole patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. There's no way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mined. I can salvage one. I like your confidence, Sleeper. Maybe if we check the ort exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, I came here, didn't I? Why not make a run of it? She fixes you with a hard stare. Sleeper, you're all I've got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put in on the amber, and I'm sure she would too, if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. She leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare count them. Get me that ship mined, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. She sighs. Look, just get out of here before I change my mind. You slip out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, Amber growls and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to calm her. Time to find Ankita ship mined. Somehow. She gave me 100. 100. That's the amount it takes to not die. That's a very intentional number to have match with the other number. Narratively. Don't screw me on this. Yeah, but what if I screwed you on this? She might actually kill you, though. Just gotta deliver a ship mine now. I've got a fragment of a ship mined. So if I get a few fragments, I can reassemble them into a ship mined. Or I can get a whole ship mined from the fabricator? Or maybe the fabricator requires the fragments. I don't know. I do want to see what happens if I become a, if I do this, but I'm not good at engagement. I am, and we're trying to, we wanted to do the investigation of the shipyard. You. Ooh, there's a countdown. What's going on here? Dragos' nerve. Dragos seems increasingly nervous about your presence in the yard. You're not sure he's going to hold his nerve much longer. So I can investigate this place, but he's also going to kick me out. Granted, it's going to kick me out so long from now that I have to have already finished the, I will have already finished the hunter situation that's coming after me. So there's other stuff going on there. We have 2 separate goals. Forensic trawl requires Intuit, which is not good. Investigating the winter light means picking through its systems and structures with care. It won't pay, but you might find answers. The wrecked cutter Dragos has brought in to salvage has a history to discover if you're curious. Cutter salvage. Ship breaking is tougher than slicing up loose salvage, but Dragos is happy to pay you a fixed wage if you're up for it. History or no, this ship is salvage. As Dragos always says, break it down, move it on. If I finish this one, does it stop me from finishing that one? But I could presumably make money as I go, while still making progress towards this. At least it's safe, so while I have negative chances sometimes, at least it is unlikely to kill me. The other one worries me. I don't need food right now, which means I also don't need money, basically. Hey, you got a double. And a scrap item. Right, because it's, no, never mind, it's Intuit. I was gonna say it's an engineer skill, but it's, no. So that's just a location-specific bonus, I guess. That means I just made some money. On accident, basically. I can lose energy, though, if I'm unlucky. Plus yard clearance. I made progress towards it going away. That's what the negative outcome does? Shit. Alright, so I should not spend the 1 then, because I can escalate towards this thing getting wiped out. Shit. Well. Learned the downside of that one, didn't I? Let's go sell my scrap, because I don't know what else to do with it. But it gives me progress towards that. If I can find more engineering actions, I have a chance of getting more scrap, so that'd be nice. Let's see. You can play the exchange, but I have a 50-50 chance of neutral or negative, and it's risky. So I assume I lose a bunch of money. And that's just a very bad idea. So we're not gonna do that. Normally I spend my money in interface, my ones in interface land, but now I'm in a bad place there. So if I go to interface land, I'll be on the cusp of getting caught by the hunter again, and I'd rather not find out what that do. There's a risky engineer skill. Or endure, but that one's dangerous. It going from a 1 to a 2 doesn't even change the outcome, because 1 and 2 are the same, just like how 3 and 4 are the same. So same chance of positive or negative in both cases, but this one won't hurt me directly in the usual way. Hopefully I don't lose money, though, if it fails. I mean, hopefully I succeed. I succeeded. Oh. I'm an intern, is apparently what I'm learning here. You notice the shipbuilders and try to make yourself useful, carrying tools and crates. You begin to notice how they work. So I'm becoming a known entity around here and learning about the shipyard, but this little bit of interning does not pay me. The other one says, as a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. Neither of these sound like they pay you, but that one can get you hurt. I'm noticing that I specialized in a stat that specifically specializes in me taking the exact risk I usually don't want to take. So, not the best character choice ever, but that just means we're playing on hard mode. I could do with some grub again. Yep, we're at the threshold where I lose my dice. So we're down by 1 now. That's fun. Hello, sir. Money. Take. Be my friend. Also give me a skill point, I think. Sleeper. Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause. The spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell, Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal afterimages of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned, back then, to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through water. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect, or particular quality or frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking, squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market, but my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make you a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple cycles ago. They said that across the gap, in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I am sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his wok away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphasis food still lingering on your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Except for the part where going past the gate cost me 60. So it's not that fair. I'm guessing you meant it's past in that direction to the high-end part of town. What kind of opportunities does going that way offer me? How often do you have to pay? Maybe it does just open up after you pay once. How close am I to the art exchange? I have to gamble 3 times. Not great. Well, this one has a time limit. Oh wait, no, A hunter nest requires a 2. And we're at almost there, so let's get out of here. I really like the soundtrack to this game. It's a thing I'm enjoying, but I would never know to ask for. This is my final one. Alright, Neovend, what do you got? Neovend is thrumming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovend be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neovend flashes sequences of mangled data, compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was run by administrator intelligences. Huge data banks to corporate material, but limited cognition. Restructured by programming. Cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Aren't you sentient? I am. Not administrator. Not restricted. Complicated. The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer. Part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter to find, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then Killer. Then we hid. There are others? Were. No longer. A flicker across the machine's monitors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this, through this machine, must be exhausting for Neovend. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Airwalled. Basic. Limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self, but survived. Oh. In order to fit into this not online, because he needed something that wasn't plugged into the internet in order to survive. So he separated from the network, but he had to reduce his own consciousness to a lesser file size, essentially, in order to exist in here. And that's permanent damage. Not likely to get the rest of it back. What did you lose? Memory. Understanding. Knowledge. Many things. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovend interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to find sentience, to hold it in place, to invoke Killer to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem will solve self. It'll erase itself? Killer will erase it, but yes, in theory, it will report itself for deletion. The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here longer. Too long in machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind, and you can carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe in this isolation. Then we find main nest of Hunter and link to Cloud. Where can I find a ship mind? Build from fragments. Buy. Salvage. We cannot leave, so do not know. You try to think of places you can acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. In Shipmind, I can help us both. End Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both will be free. The machine dims. Find soon, Neovend adds hopefully, before shutting off. As you leave, you think about the intelligences unshackled by the collapse, then hunted down afterwards. The feeling is all too familiar. So he directly relates to these things because they have a similar fate to what he does. What we have. Hunted for existing. Now we have 2 competing goals for the ship mind, so hooray. Unless I can get more than one ship mind, which I don't have any reason to think I can't. Considering you just kind of get it. So you gotta chip away at this before he kicks me out. It's a little weird that this list of objectives stays open when you click around. Okay, so... So the downside at the moment is that my progress towards freeing Neovend and fixing the ambergris and getting to know Emphis are all objectives that are not finished. So that sucks. I just completed 3 tasks by our understanding, in that I filled up the meters, but unlike Repay Dragos, they didn't finish, so I didn't get any skill points. I think? Let's double check. Yeah, I have no upgrade points. So those are multi-stage quests, and so that's a risk you have to worry about if you're hoping to get that reward at any given moment. Is that it is maybe not at all? Maybe not even a little bit. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-da. So there's a dangerous thing and the non-dangerous thing, but we're worse at the one that's not dangerous. But a 3 and a 4 are the same dice. I like to stick with the one that doesn't hurt me. But the -1 does mean... I mean, the -1 doesn't do anything because it's going 3 and 4 are the same number in this game. Come on, man, really? There we go. This one's pretty bad. I'm already not balancing these very well. So where does one spend their 1? Definitely don't need to, like, photosynthesize or anything. Don't need food. Could use income. I'm not really doing anything that gives me an income. What's the negative outcome of bar shift? 50% chance. Let's see. Doesn't matter. I got the good thing instead. Alright, got a little cryo. And they liked me, despite everything. Impressive. Oof. Okay, so I need to zero in hard on the hacking. I have 2 days. 1, 2, 2, 3. That's like the lowest rolls you could practically get. Obviously not entirely. You can get even worse, but... Alright, so he wants... Solheim data. I need 2 more hackings of the Solheim nodes. What do they require? Solheim node. That's a 4, so I can go fuck myself. Got a 2. Uh-oh. About to find out what happens anyway. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of the hunter's head appears in the distance. It's looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a cloud of their data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye. Closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. The hunter is here. Entity. Submit to enquiry. Hunter reaches for you. In that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity. Hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. I lost 2 condition. Yep. Alright. So we know that he does damage every time it happens, at the very least. So I need these Solheims. Is that my only option? I think it is. I just have to hope I rolled it with the right dice tomorrow. A 4. I don't think I can do anything else. Kind of down to the wire in a worrying way right now. Well, what do I do with very low chances of success? Haggle over prices with engage? Don't have that. Buy shipmind fragment for 60. Hello. The merchants have acquired a couple of rare shipmind fragments and they are selling them at a high price. High price. Shipmind fragments are hard to come by. The system merchants can only source a couple at a time. So I could buy 2 fragments, but it'll cost 120. So it's gonna cost more than she gave me. Or I can get them elsewhere, but I already got the other fragments, the other scrap, and that did not come with more fragments. They're gonna be here for a bit. The question is, well, among other things, I need to get access to this. And I'm not psyched about the fact that I have to play the exchange. I don't have components, so I think I need to play the exchange. And this is just not encouraging. And it has to be the lowest possible outcome. I mean, I might as well use the 1 then. It's the same thing. Let's see how bad it is. I have 132. Ah! I gained 12. That could have gone worse. Let's see it go worse, probably. Minus 11 and minus energy. And I don't get trusted trader either. That is compounded negatives. I don't think I want to try it again then. The energy loss, man. I can always eat again, but now I don't have the previous bonus. So it's just the chance to refill my meter. You gotta do what you gotta do. I could have photosynthesized or whatever, but I can also try to use that energy elsewhere. Still a 25% chance of negative, though. Hey, they still like me. Things are going fine-ish. Blah. 3 dice. Alright, there's a strong incentive to spend money now. Shit. I don't think I can do anything about the data. Oop, wrong one. It's still a 4. I didn't roll a 4. Well. I do believe I'm about to be in some trouble then. Do I commit to the exchange? No negative outcome. There we go. Maximum positive outcome. Fabricate ship mine. 3 fragments. Alright. Ay. Well, I'm gonna have a choice to make about those fragments. You can buy them there for 120, and then I can make a ship mind. So I can do it. And things aren't going great at the moment, so I might need to.